Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 29. So close to 30. It's technically 30 because it's in episode 0. Welcome. I'm Angelo, and Early Access Podcast and Early Access Media and all the indie game reviews. And thank you for listening once again this week, twice a week, every single. What am I doing on Mondays and Thursdays? And don't forget, you can watch these live every Sunday night and Wednesday night. I don't interact with the crowd too much, or if anybody even shows up, I wouldn't know. I don't keep the Twitch window open. Since I'm recording a podcast, it's kind of hard to interact with other people while doing it. If I ever get a bigger audience, maybe I'll start taking questions from people and everything like that. But for the time being, they're pretty short. Kind of like the reviews. I don't do long-form streams, so I don't think a lot of people are trying to hang out for 20 minutes at a pop. I wish they would. It'd be a little bit more fun for me. But anyway, let's jump into what I've been playing. Actually, let me make sure that I'm getting some weird feedback, so I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. My headphones hurting my headpiece. Alright, so what I've been playing. The first game I played is this game called Revenge, Robar's Myth. Now, this is a first-person puzzle game made in the... actually, I just said it. What engine did you guys use? Unreal? Unreal Engine. Let's see, it's currently $9.99. It's in early access. If I'm not mistaken, it's being made by one person. Could have swore I read that. Yeah, it's being developed by one person. I played about an hour of the story mode, and just to be honest, it's kind of boring. The voiceover is not exactly the best. The game looks nice, though. That's a lot to the Unreal Engine and the power and how much work one person can put in to make a game look good. I enjoyed running around and everything. The voiceover does feel like it's a one man a one man show. And, there's varied voiceovers though, and I give them credit because a lot of games eschew voiceover in their solo ventures, and I'm happy to see somebody stepping out and getting friends and I guess family and other people to help lend their voice to the game. So I played, like I said, I played about an hour of it, and it took me about an hour to get to the first spell. And the first spell was a spell that let you move items, like certain items, like light items, and it was impossibly complicated. There's just some things in the game that are not working too well yet. Navigation's impossible. There's like no map UI, not even like a little north, south, east, west compass at the top of your screen with little indicators of where different buildings are. If you're not paying attention at the beginning and they don't tell you where they're at, it's kind of hard to find where things are. Took me a little bit to find one of the buildings to start my first class. So it's kind of like a Harry Potter kind of game. You're starting in a magic wizard school, but it's like a job. I tried to pay attention to the story, and I just didn't get it. And there goes the air conditioning. Actually, I'm gonna pause this real quick and go fix that. Those of you watching on the YouTube channel, you always get a little bit something extra. And there goes the air. I just didn't get it. And there goes. So yeah, I think the game has a lot of promise, especially for being made by one guy. The price point's pretty low, but unfortunately right now I can't really recommend it based on what I played of it. It doesn't mean I don't think it's worth your time to go take a look at it. Go watch the review. If you want to support the game, I would go support the game. It seems like he has a lot more there if you want to put the time in and, play through the story and actually get through all the spells and everything. Unfortunately, this game isn't really indicative to like the review and gameplay videos I do, so I didn't really get to scratch the surface. I'm never a big fan of games that take so long to get started. An hour is a bit much, considering there's only 4 spells. But hopefully all that gets worked out, and you get a little UI thing in there. Might have taken me a little less time if I wasn't running around trying to find different buildings and whatnot. However, for $10, there's worse games out there. The developer seems to be on top of it. They're putting updates out there. Let's see. Yeah, they put an update out like the day before it came out. It looks like. No. Let's see. A couple days after, and then like a week later. So hopefully those updates keep coming, and it ends up being worth everybody's time. All right. Next game, I just got done playing this. So if you're looking for a review video, it'll be up on the YouTube by the time this goes live. And it's this game called Steridin. Now, Steridin is early access. It's $9, and it's a bullet hell pixel art shooter. Arcade style, though. So, like, one playthrough, you die, you have to start over. But the game looks incredible. The music's heavy metal, chiptune style, very energetic, and it matches the pace of the game really well. Constantly dodging and trying not to fucking die. There's so many goddamn bullets, it's ridiculous. There's a whole bunch of different upgrade weapons that you pick up. It's a really cool game. The only thing that's static, like when you're playing it, is the bosses that you play. So they're kind of like set up like stages, kind of like some of the older bullet hell games. So the bosses are always similar, but they're in the same order. However, their bullet patterns might change. Each time you play a game, though, like the actual level, like each stage getting up to the boss, though, changes. It's a really impressive game, especially for an early access game. I recommend going and check it out. It's only $9. I've played a lot of bullet hell games on here. This is probably one of the hardest ones I've played. It's just really well done. It's got 11 reviews. They're all positive so far. You can add mine in there as soon as I decide to type it up. But I think the game looks great, sounds great, plays really well. With these kind of games, always use a controller. If you don't have a controller, try to find an old wired 360 controller. They'll run you like $20 or something. It's not too expensive, but it'll save you such a headache because you can't really play these kind of games without a controller. You just don't have the twitch factor to dodge bullets well. That's why these games did so well in arcades, because of the joystick. But I would definitely recommend checking that out. Alright, which one of these is free to play, I think. Is it this one? No. I guess not. I thought it was, but I guess not. Alright, so I got 4 games that came out since the last episode. Let's see, 20th, 19th, and 19th. I could have swore there was another one. I'm bad at this. I try to keep the show notes going throughout the week, but there was a free-to-play game that came out. I'm glad I checked this because I wanted to mention it. The game Monstrum had its full release today. So Monstrum was a game in early access. It's a survival horror game. It's procedurally generated, and the goal is you're dropped in an environment with a monster. It's on a cargo ship, and you're dropped on there with one of several monsters, and you have to sneak your way around the ship, and each monster has its own weaknesses and strengths. Some of them will track your movement. Some of them listen for sounds. Some, like, one of the monsters leaves like a little pod that if you wake it up, like, it's like almost instant death. It's like spawns a creature, like another little creature that's following you around. So the monster will track you around the ship, and your goal on the ship is to try to assemble one of several different ways to get off the ship. I had a lot of fun with this game when I played it in early access. It's 97% positive with 200 reviews, and it came out today. It's $18. Totally worth your money. You're going to have a lot of fun with it if you like survival action games. It says, does it say survival horror roguelike? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like a survival horror roguelike game. It's totally worth checking out. I want to see if I can find this one game for you, because I had just downloaded it. Now I can't remember what it is. I think it was Victory Command, but I don't know if I got a key for it. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is Victory Command, so never mind. It is on my list. So we'll start with that. Victory Command is a real-time strategy controlled MOBA. So 5v5 combat, team-based combat. So think of it as like Command and Conquer, but set up as a MOBA. I don't know how this is going to work. I downloaded it. The base version is free, and they're selling, I guess, new teams and everything like you would do with the champions in different MOBAs. It's got a 79% positive rating with 59 users. It looks interesting. Like, if real-time strategy meets MOBA. I don't know how well that translates. People seem to be liking it though, so there has to be something there for people to be writing positively about it. A couple of the complaints are, normal free-to-play game complaints. But since this is free and it's got a pretty decent positive rating, I got to imagine it's pretty awesome, or at least pretty fun. But yeah, it's free. I think, let's see, the cheapest package right now, everything's 15% off. So the cheapest package is $17, and you get like an early supporter package. You get a premium account. You get 6 starting companies and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not sure, but I know I just downloaded it for free, or maybe I got a key for it. I'm not sure. I think it's free. All right, next game is surprisingly very positive. It's called H-Hour Worlds Elite. Now, this is $24.99. It's in early access, and it's a third-person shooter co-op game. We've all played a bunch of third-person co-op shooters, so it really comes down to how well that mechanic is. I've played plenty where it's just the shooting's not very good or the servers are pretty shitty. It's got 124 reviews though, 83% positive. But like I said, $25 is pretty high for an early access game. Hopefully it's worth the $25, but I don't know how these people have 60 hours already. Alpha beta testers. Oh, there we go. That would explain it. So there's a couple videos up. I haven't played it yet. If you want to go check out a video, there's a guy that's got an early access video review up. He's only got one review though, so I don't know why. It's a weird video to post if like first time post a video for a review if you've never reviewed a game before. But it's a third-person shooter for $25. That's it. It is what it is, right? All right, next game is, what is this? The Curious Expedition. I think this game looks cool. It reminds me of, the art style reminds me of old pixel art, like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego style, like the old Apple II version, like that old pixel art style. But it's got 30 reviews, 93% positive, It's $13.49 right now, so it's 10% off. It's usually $15. And it says, Curious Expedition is a roguelike expedition sim set in the late 19th century. The art style looks really cool. The concept seems really cool. Kind of reminds me of, not the art style, but the gameplay reminds me of, now I'm drawing a blank, Oregon Trail. That's what it reminds me of. Kind of like a combination of like Oregon Trail and a little more exploration-y though. I think it looks really awesome. I'm going to probably buy this game to do the review if I don't get in touch with these guys. Because I'm interested. And plus I want to, keep putting out reviews for everybody. How long are we running? 15 minutes, running hot. All right. We're wrapping up here. Only got a couple more topics to touch on. So the last game that came out is this game called Lethal Tactics. It's a turn-based game, turn-based tactic game, where you control a squad of combat experts in epic gunfights and bloody encounters. So it looks like a top-down, third-person turn-based strategy game. It reminds me of the game that I just reviewed, A2P Protocol. This has a little bit more of a cartoony, stylized look to it. It's $18 right now. It's 10% off, so it's usually $20. I don't know how I feel about games that hit that price point. It's tough for me. But people, though, there's only 6 reviews so far, and that's probably because of the price point. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than that it exists, and it looks cute. Like the art style is really nice. I'm sure it's a fun game, and it's got multiplayer, which I think is fun for these kind of games. So maybe I will check it out. I do like turn-based multiplayer games, so we'll check that out. All right, last thing I got for you guys is an update. I just grabbed this right before the show. I didn't see too many other updates besides, quality of life changes or minor bug fixes and stuff. The one that I did grab, though, is for Frank and John. Now, I played Frank and John like when I first started the website, and they just introduced local co-op, and they did a whole combat revamp. So it's a pretty big update for them. It's 33% off right now, so it's $10. It's gonna be 15, but you got a week. The deal started today, so you got a week of it being $5 off. I would go pick it up now. I think it's awesome. It's a really fun roguelike game. Did I not write a written review for this game? Huh. I never wrote a written review for this game. How about that? That was so early on that it was before I was writing the reviews and putting them on Steam. So I did write a review. I just didn't put it on Steam. So this game, right now, the only problem I had with this game is some of the combat stuff, which they have fixed over the last couple updates. But the biggest thing was that there was only one world to explore. Now that they introduced the co-op, they also said that that's the next thing that they're going to be working on. So they will be working on the zone called, I just read this and now I can't remember, Furnace of Anger. Actually, if you watch my one video where I took a first look at this game, I think towards the end of it, I managed to jump over a wall, and you can see the openings for all 4. I think it was 3 or 4 zones that they're working on. But if you like roguelikes, this game is a lot of fun. It's different. You get to throw your head at people. They did a good job with it, and they're moving towards a really good, complete product. And you can pick it up now for $5 cheaper than it's going to be. Even if you don't play it right now, if you like this style of game, you're going to like this one. So I would pay the $10, put it away, and then let it sit there until you're ready to jump in, or maybe once they release it fully. Couldn't recommend it more. So that's going to do it for this episode 29. As usual, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to check out earlyaccessmedia.com. I have a woman writing now for the site that has done a music review and a movie review, which are the first two for the website, which I'm excited for. I'm still trying to get more guest writers and contributors to the site. If you're interested in writing for the site, unfortunately there's no pay since there's really no money to go around. But if you want to get some exposure, maybe some writing experience, shoot me a message on Twitter at Early Access PC, or hit me up on the Facebook post over there. It's facebook.com Early Access Podcast. But I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, if you want to support the show, there's the patreon.com/Early Access Podcast page. There's you can also use the Amazon link on both of the websites. Use that when you check out. It gives us a little bit of money. Doesn't cost you anything extra, and it'll help support the show and make sure that I can keep paying the hosting fees for everything. Because pretty soon I'm gonna have to move the podcast over to, I think, Libsyn or somebody else before I get too many behind and it costs me way too much money to migrate all the information over. But until next time, guys, thanks again, and I will see you on Monday.